Thank you for watching my video today. We are going to be making a custom t-shirt. And for this project, you will need your t-shirt. You will need your heat transfer vinyl or HTV. It is the iron-on vinyl. It's very important that you have that. If not, you will not be transferring anything onto your shirt. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you are familiar with your vinyl because you need to know whether or not it's a cold peel or a hot peel. And a lot of times you'll get a vinyl and you'll think you can take it off right away, the protective cover, and your vinyl comes right off with it, even after you've pressed it as hard as you can for as long as you can. So you want to make sure, if you purchase the Cricut vinyl, you can go onto their website and they will tell you whether or not your vinyl is a cold peel or a hot peel. Okay, the instructions are on the packaging. It doesn't really say whether it's a cold peel or a hot peel on the package. You will have to go online and look. So starting off with 2, make sure you also have your easy press, or if you don't have your easy press, you can use an iron. I used to use an iron before, but yeah, no, I need the easy press. Or if you have another heat press, that's perfectly fine. You need a weeding tool, and this will help you peel away your vinyl. So this shirt is actually, also one second, I have a cutter because I don't like to cut the HTV with the scissors, only because there are no lines. So like on the permanent or the removable vinyl, you have lines to kind of help guide you, and you can kind of keep your vinyl straight. But yeah, so I use a cutter to cut the vinyl so that I don't have curved lines, because the next time you go to use that vinyl and you place it onto your mat, you will definitely see that it gives you a hard time. So this particular shirt, I actually sold it on my Etsy shop. And so if you are interested in selling shirts or anything, I do have like a little presentation how I send it to my customers. So of course I have a plastic bag that the shirt, I folded up very nicely, make sure the design is seen on the front side of the bag. In addition, I put care instructions inside of the bag as well with the t-shirt, and I'll seal it with a thank you. If you have your business card, it's good to place it inside of there. You can even have a sticker with your business logo and your website or Etsy page on the outside. And I put a little sticker of the actual design. And this design that we're going to be doing today is a nod to Hamilton, the musical, and also to Zoom. All right, guys, we are about to get started. So now we are in Cricut Design Space, and here's where the magic is created. Only today we're not actually creating the magic. It was already done for us, or I did it previously, so I'm just going to upload it. But if you don't have an SVG file already prepared, you will then use Cricut Design Space to create whatever design that you're trying to make, or you can purchase your design from someone who's selling it online. A digital SVG or PNG file works great. Okay, so we are going to go over here to upload, and let's view all. And here is the file that we want to use. So it's already pretty much in place. It's exactly what we want. I think I am going to maybe resize it. We're doing an extra large shirt today, so I am going to give it just a little more size, and hopefully I'm not going over too much. Right there. Okay. Yep, and so under, because you don't want your design to be wider than 11.5 because Cricut is limited to that size across. So if you wanted to make it a little bit wider, you would have to cut it out the long way, and you would just flip your design. Okay, so we just need to make sure everything is going to cut how we want it to be, and I can already see that there are some things that are not going to cut how I want it to cut. So over here, what we're going to do is we're going to select the Z and the OOM for zoom, because once we get ready to make it, this will split the letters up. So we don't want that. So we are going to, this will have to weld. So when we go to make it, it will already be together. So I'm going to show you, I didn't weld or attach the other ones, but I want to show you why I'm doing it. So when we go to make it, zoom is already in place, but look at the rest of it. It's not set up, and it's so much easier to have it set up how we want it. And of course, we don't want to be piecing together letters in a word when you're ironing on. So we're going to just go back. We are going to select N. Where's my N? So it's going to be here. I, N, and then here. See? And so now on the screen you see where it's all selected. So if you want to select multiple objects, you just press your shift key and you keep selecting. Okay? So we are going to definitely weld that together. And then we want to weld the rest of this together. We're gonna you can just click attach. Okay, and now we should be good to go. And we are going to hit make it. Okay, so as we see, we have two different screens. And if I was being very technical, I would have turned this particular mat, I would have made it white because I am using white HTV, not black this time. But because I know what I'm doing, you know, that I'm going to be doing it, then that's what the case is. As you can see, this is not exactly how it looks in design space, because it's piecing it together differently, but it's perfectly fine because that's exactly what I want, so that I don't waste any of the HTV. Okay, so to make the most of our time cutting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer these graphics to the other mat, so that I only have to set up one mat. I don't have to worry about setting up two, putting two through. So how you do that, you click onto the design. So you're going to click there. You click into the dots, and then you're going to move object. So I want to move it to the first. It's going to change the color, but you know, if you're doing it, you know what. If this is going to confuse you, do not do it. Use two separate mats so that you can remember your colors. But if not, this is an easier way just to get it done, so you don't have to worry about continually putting your mat into your Cricut, cutting. It'll all do it for you. So this is what we are going to, how we are going to cut it. It's good to leave enough space so that you can end the vinyl at a certain place, and you don't have to worry about it cutting the wrong artwork. So we're going to place this under the 4-inch mark. Okay? And so now we'll know, you can it's pretty much how it's going to look, or what it's going to cut. So you don't have to worry about that. The Cricut measures it perfectly, so you don't ever really have to worry about it cutting the wrong thing. Finally, in preparing to cut your mat, the most important thing that you want to do is make sure that your mat is mirrored. This is the most important thing, because if not, you will find yourself repeating this step to cut your vinyl, because it will be printed out the wrong way. Okay, so the most important thing is to make sure that your vinyl is mirrored, And when I mirrored it just now, it kind of changed it a little bit. That's why it's important to wait to cut your vinyl until after you have actually done this, and then you set your mat up that way. So I could either move this over here and it'll stay the same, size, okay? Or the layout is the same. I don't have to worry about doing too much changes or too many changes. All right, now we are about to get started. Okay, so now we are ready to cut our vinyl. I've already pre-cut the vinyl that we're going to be using based off of the layout and design space, so I know exactly how much needs to be where. So what we're going to do is you always want to make sure that you place your vinyl shiny side down, okay? Because that is how you will weed from the back, and then you place it on top of your item. So you're going to place your vinyl shiny side down. Try to make sure it's flushed. What we're going to be doing with this mat, because the mat, it's not really sticky, or it's a little sticky, but this vinyl never sticks to it well. So I have painter's tape. So we're going to be using a little bit of painter's tape to secure it. And we are going to just place it on the corners. And you just kind of eyeball it. You don't want to place it where there's going to be a cut, because it may not go through. I've had that happen to me before, where it did not cut through the vinyl because of that. And I'm going to place the other one down, and we know where to place it by looking at your design in design space. So we're going to place it right underneath the fourth. Okay, so we're all done taping this down. Sometimes you won't have to do that. And we are ready to put it inside of our Cricut. So what you need to do, make sure you press continue. Once you click continue, and you're going to select, I want to type in the Sports Flex. Sport Flex iron-on, done. And we are simply going to do the default pressure. Okay, so our Cricut has finished working its cutting magic, and we are about to begin weeding. Everything looks like it cut just fine, so we're ready to get started with cutting. What I like to do first is I like to make sure, you can't see it really well here, but inside of the O's, I like to make sure that the insides are weeded out first, because that just makes it easier and it avoids any extra lifting. Not saying that you won't get lifting in areas where you don't want it, but it just kind of helps in that area. So we're gonna weed this, and we're going to weed our other one. And when you pull off, I like to pull at a slant, not necessarily just going straight across, and weed it a little bit slowly until you get the hang of it, so that you won't end up weeding something off and you want it to go back and you can't get it back in place. And you want to check and see if there's any material left. There's a little bit that I want to salvage, so I will salvage that. Okay, so our heat press is heating up. What you want to do is you want to get your shirt prepared to place the vinyl on top. And what you should always do is just run your iron or your heat press over your shirt in the area that you are going to be placing your HTV on, because you just want to loosen up that fiber inside of the shirt. You want to loosen it up so that your vinyl will stick to it and you won't have many problems. It's standard to kind of place your design about 3 to 3.5 inches, especially on an extra large t-shirt. So that's what you want to make sure, and you also want to make sure that it's straight. There is an easier way of doing this. However, this way works for me, and I really don't like too much easy. Okay, so we are going to place it, and I kind of measure the center of my shirt. A lot of people will fold the shirt in half so that you can get an exact center, and then you kind of just crease it with your iron or HTV. So when you're creasing it, you will then have the center of your shirt. I'll show you the correct way and not me eyeballing it. Okay, so you're gonna straighten it out. Then you just measure 3 to 3.5 from the top of the shirt, or from the neck of the front of the shirt. And then you start placing your vinyl. Because there is no layering that we're doing for this shirt, you can pretty much put it, all of your vinyl on at the same time, okay? Just look at it, eyeball it, it's perfect. Now, if you're doing multiple vinyls, different colors or glitter or regular, you want to make sure that there's no overlapping while you're doing it at the same time, because then you risk transferring your heat transfer vinyl back to the plastic, or it's just not gonna, it's gonna mess up your shirt. So you wanna make sure that nothing is touching, okay? I have the heat press set at 320 degrees and for 30 seconds. That usually works for me with this particular vinyl. And so if it's not broke, I'm not gonna try to fix it. As you place your heat press on, you want to give it a little pressure, just a little. You press your start. Make sure that your HTV doesn't shift while you're doing it. You just give it a little pressure. And remember, both of these are cold peel. So it's cool peel, it's not cold. You peel it that way so that it can come off, because if you try to peel it and it's hot, it will just come off with the protective cover. And for hot peels, if you wait too long to take it, if you wait until it has cooled completely, you risk it not sticking to your shirt also. So you have to be very, very conscious of whether or not you have a hot peel or a cool peel or a warm peel. All right, we're gonna let this cool and I will be back. Okay, so back. And we are ready to peel. It's cooler now, it's not scorching hot like it was at first. And so to peel, you want to kind of catch the corner, okay? You don't just want to rip it off. You don't want to just kind of catch the corner and go slow, because sometimes there may be parts that may lift up and it's easier for you to catch it that way and get it back in place, and maybe run the iron over it again. Okay, and we are all set. In the zoom where it happens. Okay, so I have the shirt already folded to the size that I want it to be. And so on the back side, I make sure to have the size, because sometimes I sell multiple shirts and people will just hand them out, so they'll be able to see the size of the shirt instead of having to open the package and everything. So this is what it will look like in the front. And so you just put it into your bag. And you can get these bags from Amazon. They sell them like 100 for maybe $15, if that much. It was very, very economical. So if you're into selling shirts, or if you just like to make sure whatever you give somebody, great for gifts, get your shirt, get your plastic bags. Okay, I just smooth out the air, take off the protective adhesive. Fold it. Oh, before I fold it over, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put care instructions inside, and I typically put it in the back. So I'll put the care instructions in here. Also in the back, this can be used as a decal. This is printed on printable vinyl. It's stickers. You can make stickers. It can go on a cup, on anything that you want, really, your laptop. So I'll give this also as a thank you. And then seal the bag. Sometimes I'll have either this thank you sticker, or I will have the logo of my Etsy store and directions on how to get there to the Etsy store, and then you just seal it. So that's the first thing that they see when they have to open their bag, because I am grateful for their business. And this is how their shirt will arrive to them. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that I've been helpful. And if I have, please subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment if you have any questions, concerns, or if there's something that you would like to craft.